I'm Desiree Vaniecia. I am an artist and educator, and I'm based out of Dallas. I initially applied for the Cohort program because when I saw it on Instagram and it seemed like a pretty cool thing to dive into, the thing that caught my eye was the micro studio, so it was like it seemed affordable for my budget at the time. But then also I really wanted to take my artwork seriously, and I felt like the only way I could take it seriously is if I got out the house with it. And so I was really interested in having a studio space, but then also going back into like that college-esque community where you get to work with other artists, you get to build on top of that. I felt like that was gonna be the thing that I needed to push me from being somebody who was just making something at home, kind of like a craft and a hobby, to like actually developing my artwork and putting myself out there and accomplishing the goals that I wanted to accomplish. Entering into the cohort, you don't know what you're getting. Like, they don't tell you who gets in until you're in there, right? And so when you meet everybody for the first time, it sits you back. It's like, cause for me, you know, my favorite 3 artists that I had been stalking on Instagram were in the same cohort as me, and I was just like, I don't do what you do, so I don't know how to do this. But it motivates you because you're just like, okay, how can I be on the same playing field as them? Being in that 18-month time span, you start to realize that you're on a deadline, and it's like a self-made deadline. You don't have to, for other people, you don't have to have something done at the end of it, but for me, I wanted to be like, when I come out of this, I want to be able to say that I did a show. I want to be able to say that I did a mural. And I'm around people who have done that before, so how can I use their experience? How can I build a relationship with them in order for me to develop these things for myself? What am I trying to hit at the end of this project, and how can I use this setting in order to help me do that? So like taking classes, and you know, I wanted to learn how to build my own canvases or build my own panels. So taking those classes so that way I can be more invested into my artwork. I wanted to get to know people. I wanted to learn about their process and what they do. So I'm going to send you a message and ask you like, hey, are you gonna be in the studio? Can I ask you a couple questions? I want feedback from people who are, you know, struggling just as I am, but also killing it in the game. So I'm gonna reach out to you. So like, I feel like that incubation, like you think it's just about creating the artwork itself, but at the end of the day, it's also building a connection and kind of like fostering a community with these people. Because at the end of the day, when you leave after that 18 months, it's still something that you're very much entwined with. Like the people that I admired and the people that I've had developed a relationship, I still talk to them all the time, and we're still encouraging each other in every project that we do. We're still reaching out to each other, so it's just like, I don't know, it just came out of it like, after that 18 months, like, yeah, my career skyrocketed, but I feel like I've built a very strong foundation that I did not have before. Writing, like writing grants, we did that, and then writing an artist statement. I feel like those are professional development, both in, if I was using it in education, but then also using it for myself. I will say like writing my artist statement with you, and then all those other things, that helped me out a ton because it allowed me to get the point across as far as what my artwork is about, and is, you know, is a lot of words, but it's not too much words, so you can really like grasp it, and it's easy to use. But then also, everything that you taught me, I applied to my kids. So when my students are writing artist statements about their work, everything that I learned, I've used with them to allow them to articulate their artworks. Legal clinics helped a ton. Building a contract for murals, because they don't tell you about how to develop a proper contract, how to make sure that you have your rights for your murals. It's kind of like if you hurt yourself, you learn it that way, but it's like to be able to have that wheelhouse has made me more professional, and then also easy to approach. And like, I would honestly say that I probably, just by having a contract ready to go, like, oh, you want this, here's my contract, here's what I expect out of it, it allowed me to get like more mural contracts and things like that. After not being in here for a while, that I missed being in the space. I miss being able to see what the artists are working on, and like looking at everybody's work and kind of like getting an idea where people are going. And that way it also allows me to be more helpful to them. So like if they have a question, I'm like, oh yeah, I saw this piece in your studio. This is, you know, what do you need help with? Let me talk to you. So it's like, it helps, like talking to the new cohort and like giving them advice if they want it, it really makes me feel more confident in my artwork and make me feel more confident in what I'm doing, because one, they're kind of looking for me to help them, but then also with that being said, they want me to help them, which makes me feel like, okay, I don't suck today. But yeah, so like I want to say I came in because I needed a wood shop, but I stayed because I still have that community aspect and I'm still building that base. Like now I have more people that, you know, I can refer to, or I can ask for advice, or I can say like, hey, can you come look at this real quick and tell me what you think? You get classes, you get a space, you get to work on your work, you get to talk to other artists, you get into a bank of people that are genuinely interested in Cedars Union, so that means your face is getting out there more, they know that you're working on stuff. So it's like, it puts a level of, I feel as though it puts a level of respect on your name, essentially, because it's just like, if you say, oh, I worked with Cedars Union, somebody's gonna know what that is, and it's just the same as a master's program, essentially, in Dallas.